music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is my late review for CatFish Season 7. This is episode 12. I reviewed episode 11, I think the day it came on, which was Wednesday. Friday is going to now be my catch-up day for videos that I can't get done during the week. I do so many damn videos, and I work a full-time job. So, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Just hit that little subscribe button, and do not forget, if you have already subscribed, to hit the notification bell. It lets you know when I have new content available. I have more people saying, did you post this? Did you post that? I'm like, you gotta hit the bell. It lets you know everything. So don't forget to hit that bell. So this episode of the show, CatFish. I told y'all when I did episode 11, I have not watched CatFish since probably like season 3. Okay, I just stopped watching it because I'm like, people can't keep being catfish now. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. But you know, I think before then I wasn't reviewing, so I'm so sorry, y'all. A few people, it's 3 a.m., leave me alone. A few people kept asking me what I review CatFish, so here we go. This one was crazy, okay? We had Mike, who wrote into Neva Max or whatever. He is married to Nina. Nina is a webcam model, meaning she's a porn star who gets naked and does sexual things for money. She's just not like, it's not any penetration of people or whatever. But it's a version of a porn star, okay? It's like web model was loosely like sexcapade-ish, because I feel like if anyone is paying you to do anything sexual, you're it's in that realm, because in that realm or whatever. Anyway, Nina, who was Mike's wife, met a guy named John online, okay? And John liked her as a webcam model, okay? And he's supposedly rich, got all this money, whatever, and was sending her money. So he had a story of, he had a fiance who died. He at one point was in some kind of coma. A whole long, drawn out story. And I'm looking like, okay, this just sounds just like some crazy things. So currently, Nina and Mike had almost been divorced. They're currently married, though, with 2 kids, because she was talking to John. It caused all kind of issues. Now, at first, when they said, oh, we had almost divorced, I'm like, oh, but they've been happily married. They've never been apart or whatever. No, they got divorced at one point and was divorced for 6 years and got remarried in 2016. So, they want her to meet this guy so they can move on with their marriage. My thing is, why can't you just move on with your marriage? Like, why do you need to meet a man you was kicking it with when you wasn't married? You know what I'm saying? What husband says, yeah, let's call Neve and Max to figure out who this person is you've been talking to online for all these years, so you've never seen. Let's call to them, because if you don't meet this man, we can't be happy together. I'm like, it's already some things wrong. Again, when she started talking to the guy, her and her husband were not married, but they got back together, and she still has been continuing having conversations and situations with this man. Okay, that's just kind of weird for me. So they've never met. They've never even had a video chat, because he refuses to do that. He has tried to come meet her a couple times. It never panned out. At one point, she had bought a gift for him. And the weird part about it is, when she bought the gift for him, she had to have been married to the husband, because the husband said he went and got a gift out of my car, and put a gift in there. So this happened while they were married. Why is she buying that man gifts? Okay. And what gift did she have for him that could not be delivered by Amazon Prime? Okay. You don't need to have no gift you need to give to anybody has to come to you. Okay. Unless you made it your damn self. Unless it's a goddamn macaron, a product your kids made, and you don't want to mail it, it can be sent through the mail. But no, she had it, wanted him to come get it. He said, I'll get it if I don't see you. So she put this gift in her car, left her car doors unlocked. I guess went and hid in the Scooby-Doo van so nobody could see her. It's a goddamn murder mystery. And he went to her car, got the gift out that she got for him, and left her a card and some roses. I said, no, this is bugged out shit here. Okay, where's Scooby-Doo when you need him? Okay, we need Scooby-Doo, we need Shaggy, we need Inspector Gadget, we need Carmen Sandiego, we need Air Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Who else? We need Darkwing Duck. Okay, we might need Scrooge McDuck. This is a goddamn treasure hunt. Where is John? Okay, where is Waldo? We need all the people together to figure out what the hell is going on here. Clearly, she's crazy because she is just she wants to meet this man. I'm like, she is batshit crazy. So Nina leaves her husband to go meet Neve and Max in LA to find Internet John. Okay, so she's in LA without her husband. Okay, what did she say? She brings it. So now they're talking to her. Okay, they talk to her, whatever. She's saying how, you know, because they're like, why are you looking to meet this dude? Like, you married with 2 kids. Like, what? If she was single, it would make sense. Okay, I'm single. This guy, I want to meet him. Bitch, you married. You being greedy. You got a man and want another one. What is wrong with you, girl? So she says Mike has not always been the person he is now, you know, but now we have 2 kids or whatever. He used to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? We weren't always the perfect pair, but we're married now. And he understands that, you know what I'm saying, I want to figure things out. She says how John is a nice, great guy, and he reminds me about how great I am and all these things that we could have together. Okay, he tells me we can live together. You know, he can buy me this or buy me that, or just give me all the love and attention I need. The perfect responses from sad people. Okay, sad bitches and sad men. He's a sad man at this point in time. Okay, he's giving her all the peanuts and walnuts she needs to make some kind of pie with nuts in it, and she wants all his nuts because all his nuts sound much better than her husband's nuts. Okay, let's just say that. Anyway, she's saying how she does not know if she wants to stay married or not. I say, now that's a goddamn murder mystery if I've ever heard one. Your husband wrote into the show. Girl, bye. So she then says John was going to assist me in getting a divorce. He was going to pay for my divorce from Mike. So I left Mike. Went to this hotel room to wait for John because we was going to leave together and be happily ever after. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne and Whitley happily ever after. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole Luke and Laura happily ever after. This is the whole happily ever after situation. But John never showed up. Okay. So all she said was John never showed up to the hotel room. So that she was saying that. She left her husband, went to the hotel room. John was supposed to come. John never came, and that's all she said. So they then asked, well, can anybody else be John? Like, can John be anybody else in your life? Because again, she is a webcam model. She has a little website where people pay to see her. Could it be anybody else? She said, well, there's a second guy I know through the site. His name is Miles. He had been around for about 3 years. He's from Ohio. She says, I met him. I'm so sorry, y'all. I met him, but he was sick. He had an oxygen tank too, but he knows everything. I talked to him. We're friends. He knows about John. He knows about my husband, Mike. Miles knows it all. I would be very mad and upset if it was him because I talked to him about everything all the time. He wouldn't have any reason to be anything else because we talk all the time. Cool. There's a third guy. Okay, she gets around. Okay, she always thotting and bopping. She always thotting and bopping. So the third guy, his name is Midnight. Midnight is so in love with her, whatever. He put her name on his work truck. I mean, okay, whatever. But he lives in Colorado, but she don't know who he is either. She said there's a fourth guy. So the fourth guy is some guy named Donnie who has liked her since high school. And it could be him because, you know what I'm saying, he just like her. So they do have her log into her little website. And when they log into the little website, like a thing come up like ching 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 ching, money 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 money. And she's like, they're like, what is that? What does that mean? She's like, oh, that means, it's money. And they say, well, how much is 100 tokens? She's like, oh, it's $5. I don't want to be on my webcam for $5. I mean, is the $5 a minute? Cause $5 to do what? I mean, I would say I could say hello for $5, but I'm not gonna do much more than that. But I'm like, whatever. Neve like right back like, hey, what you doing? Cause she trying to figure out how this her website thing work. The dude right back and say, oh, this sitting with my dick in my hand, and think this is nasty stuff. Again, when people send you stuff like that, it's porn, okay? It's porn. You can't tell me different. Whatever. Sex phone operator. She's a sex video operator. Okay, that's what she is. Anyway, they also see that John has sent her a total of over $22,000 and the time they have been talking on this little website or whatever. I'm like, that's a whole goddamn. That's a car note. It's a whole new car. It's like that's like a Ford. I don't think they make what's a little small car? It could be a Malibu. I don't know. It's a little ass car, okay. But I'm like, that's a lot of money. But this is my thing. She likes attention. Okay? Because you have a husband, but you're on the webcam doing these things or whatever. I'm like, is she doing it for attention? Because again, she keeps saying her husband isn't attentive. He's different. She's doing it for a little bit of attention. But, everyone has to do what they need to do. She does say, she said, my husband does not make me feel loved all the time. And John always tells me how much he loves me and misses me. And that's why I like him. And it's also the reason why she's talking to John and Miles and all these other people. Because she wants the attention that she's not getting from her husband. But, if she like it and she can pay, whatever. So Max and Neve do their whole I Spy Private Eye situation. And then they do see a photo of the guy, Donnie, who liked her in high school. They he looked like the type that'd catfish somebody. And he did. He actually did. They then called, they couldn't figure out nothing from Midnight. They couldn't figure nothing else out from the Miles character. So they said, maybe it's the Donnie dude. They called the phone for John, and the voice you hear, it looks like it can belong to the Donnie dude. I'm like, you never know. So they do text the John phone because he did not answer when he called. And then they like, hey, this is Neva Max or whatever. We're here with Nina. Would you want to meet her? He says, I would, as long as her husband isn't there. I would love to do that. So now it's a whole match made in catfish heaven. So when they go back and tell her, we couldn't figure nothing out as far as the Donnie, the Miles, all the other people, we do think it may be the dude Donnie. We do think it may be him. So we just told John to come here to meet us. So they go to an empty park and they see all the cars riding past. And then somebody starts walking up, okay? And they're like, do you know him? She's like, no. They're like, so you've never met him before? She's like, no, I don't think so. He doesn't look familiar. And it's a bigger guy. It isn't the guy from the picture. Let's say that, okay? It isn't him. It's a bigger. He's a bigger guy. He's tall. He's what I'm saying. He's big, tall John. I don't know. Whatever. So he gets up close and he's like, no, I'm Miles. So the person she said she would be pissed if it was him, it was him, because she said I met him, and it was what it was, and we've been friends. So John can't be Miles, and it was Miles. She did not recognize him because he had lost 100 pounds since before he's seen her, and he made the John character because I'm pretty sure she told him when she saw him and he was bigger and on the goddamn oxygen mask and he looked sick or whatever, that she couldn't be with him for whatever reasons, but she stayed friends with him. So he's a big and tall guy, whatever. It was the weirdest thing because she didn't seem mad that she had been catfished. She seemed more upset that he just didn't tell her the truth so that they could have been together. It was the weirdest shit. I'm confused why she's hurt. and not hurt like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I could never be this person. It was like, we could have been together. We could have been something if you had you not lying. I'm looking like, bitch, but you got a husband. What's going on here? I don't get it. So she was asking him, you know what I'm saying? I don't get why you felt the need to do this. And then I'm like, because clearly you told him that you didn't want him. So he created someone who he thought you would want. Okay? That's what he did. He says, he was like, let me be the nice guy with a different face. He said, that's why I want to be the same nice guy that you wanted, but this, I look different. I'm like, well, that's true. He admits that the time that she was going to leave her husband, he didn't come because of an incident. Now, when she told the story, all she said was, I was going to leave my husband, so I left him and went to the hotel, and John never showed up. She didn't say shit else. He said there was an incident, and that's why he did not come, because of the incident. I'm like, what the fuck is the incident? He says, come to find out, Mike put a tracker on Nina's phone. So when Nina left Mike and went to the hotel, Mike tracked her to the hotel. They had a full-on situation, argument, fight, disturbance, domestic call situation. Someone called the police. So he said because of that's the reason he did not come, because it was already an incident. It was already an escalated incident. He did not want to come to make it worse, because again, he isn't who he looked like he should be. She said, if you would have came, that would not have made things worse. If you would have came, I would not have cared at that point in time. I said, see, again, she was gonna be with that man regardless of what he looked like. That was the crazy, and she has a type. Let's just say that, whatever. So she says your actions left me in the hotel room alone to cry. That's what you do to people you love. You hurt them. She was talking like we could have been together, even though you did not look like the John character. You just should have told me in the beginning, and it could have still been something. It was the weirdest. You've been lying to me this whole time. It's just so weird. It was just so weird. He said we can still do everything that I said. We can still do it all. We can still be together. She's crying and saying how she's hurt, and it's weird because it's the weirdest shit ever. Usually on CatFish, they be pissed. They don't be really hurt. They don't be hurt. My camera low, my battery low. She doesn't really be hurt. She was just. It was the weirdest. I don't get it. She then they leave the camp or whatever. She then called her husband and tells him, yeah, it wasn't the John character, it was really Miles or whatever. But I'm confused now. I don't know what I want to do. What? He then says, okay, sleep on it. Let me know what we have to do. I'm like, why wasn't he upset? Look, I think they swingers, and she was trying to swing, and he was like, if you whatever, back. It was the weirdest shit. So we do see the next day they all meet up again, and she says, why did you feel like you were not good enough for me? He says that because of I had low no self-confidence, I had low self-esteem or whatever, so I had to lose some weight, but I'm better now, and I love you, I want to be with you, whatever. She said, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed that you felt like you couldn't tell me the truth. Nina batshit crazy. He says, because when Neve then said, once you knew her husband was on better terms, why did you still pursue it? He said, I never knew they were on better terms. And they're like, what? He says, do you want to tell them? Should I tell them? They didn't. They then admit, she said, I told him I only got back with Mike to get custody of the kids, not to really be back with him. It was just to get the custody of the kids. So the whole time, it wasn't as if he was just lovesick puppy or whatever. She was telling him that her husband's situation was a bunch of bullshit. So she just as fake as he is. Okay? If you ask me, truth be told, she just as batshit crazy as Miles, John, or whatever his name is. It's all crazy. He says, she also told me that she would leave her husband regardless of me coming to the hotel tonight. She was going to leave him anyway. And me coming was just like an extra bonus because she was already leaving him. And I'm like, she didn't say any of this shit before. She didn't have any of this goddamn energy when she was talking for him. She didn't say any of this shit to me, even in the midst of them having their conversations. It was the weirdest shit. She says, you know what I'm saying, I was so vulnerable. I was alone. You know what I'm saying? Had you come to the hotel, I would not have cared that you weren't the person in the photo you showed me. She then says, but I'm going to go home now and get my marriage 100%. Because what? I'm like, I wonder when her husband see the show, how he going to feel. Girl, Lord. She was lying to Miles the same way Miles was lying with John. Was lying to her. They both was feeding each other a bunch of bullshit. Neither one of them was being honest. And Nee was like, you were only with him to get your kids back? And she said, yeah, because I'm like, that was the weirdest of the episode. She went back to her husband, and like 2 months later, they were still married. And she said that, Mike was a blessing, that Mike, the situation was a blessing in disguise because they're closer now, and that she has not spoken to Miles. Because he done made a whole new little list, that he done made a whole new profile, and he talking to you through 5 other people, and you don't know it. So everything, you still talking to him, you don't know it's him. Ain't no way that man's left you alone. He's still one of your damn clients. And I'm like, this shit, your husband wrote into a show because you were still messing with a dude online who turned out to be a guy you already had met in person. And you was lying to him the whole time, saying that you wanted to leave your husband anyway. I do wonder what happened since her husband saw the episode to see how she had been lying to the other dude in the first goddamn place. He probably tracking her damn phone right now. Anyway, that was the episode of CatFish. I'm going to continue to review these shows because it's just funny to see the craziness of it. So, I'm Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.